Hey guys, Seb here from Autoworld. Happy Monday. Doing something a little bit differently today. I'm not in the blue MUX that you normally catch me in. Today, I've borrowed a different car. This is a 1.9 litre 4x2 D-Max DoubleCab. Now, the reason why I've borrowed this car for the day is because it's an automatic. I haven't spent that much time driving an automatic 1.9 litre D-Max yet, or an MUX for that matter. I've spent a lot of time driving the 4x4 accessories vehicle, which is a 1.9. However, that is a manual gearbox. However, that isn't necessarily a true representation of the 1.9, simply because it's loaded with accessories, which essentially makes the vehicle a lot heavier. However, it still does perform very well. It also has aftermarket Ironman suspension on it, which does change the ride height and the comfort and handling of the vehicle overall. So, chuffed to be in this car today. Let's see how a 1.9 litre actually really drives. Right, this being the LS spec basically means it's the mid-spec option. We've got L, LS, and LSE, and then above that the V-Cross. But the LS spec does come standard with some pretty cool features, much like the MUX does that I normally drive. You've got cruise control, steering wheel controls. You've got a 7-inch infotainment screen, which is compatible with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You've got rear park sensors, reverse camera, and this being the 4x2 version, obviously it doesn't have 4x4, but it does come standard with diff lock and hill descent control. So if you do find yourself in a bit of a sticky situation, hopefully you can get yourself out of that situation. Now, from a comfort point of view, I'm not going to be biased here, even though you might think I am. It is a very comfortable double cab to drive, especially the LS spec, which does have a little bit of extra cushioning and padding on the seats. It is a cloth fabric seat, as a reminder, in the LS spec. It's only the LSE spec and upwards where leather interior becomes standard in the vehicle. From a comfort point of view, look, I am used to driving the MUX, which is a very, very comfortable car, simply because as well, number one, it's engineered well, it's been put together well, but it's an SUV, which means it's got quad coil suspension all the way around, whereas any bucky, single cab, extended cab, double cab will have shocks and coils on the front and leaf suspension on the back, which generally always does make a bucky or any double cab a little bit less comfortable to drive. However, I mean, this road is a little bit bumpy, as most of the roads are here, and it's quite comfortable. I'm not jumping around all over the place, so it is a very comfortable car to drive. From a power point of view, which is what most people are interested in, now this has, as I mentioned before, a 1.9 litre turbo diesel engine, which is the upgrade from the outgoing 2.5 litre engine. Now, I used to drive a 2.5 litre double cab, and that performed very well. Really, really love that car. This 1.9 litre is definitely a lot more powerful. Numbers wise, stats wise, it's 110 kilowatts, which isn't a lot more kilowattage more than the outgoing 2.5 litre, but the way this engine is put together, the way the turbo kicks in, coupled with that 6-speed transmission gearbox, it makes a massive difference. So despite the fact that, you know, people think, eesh, 1.9, that's a small engine, it's very, very capable. And for a mixture of around town use, going out in the bush, I mean, you'll easily get, well, have a look here. I've just been driving this for the last half an hour or so before I started recording. I'm getting 13.8 Ks per litre. So the fuel consumption on top of that is fantastic. So around town, my 3 litre MUX, which is accessorized as well, gets about 9.5, 9.6 Ks per litre. If you drive a 3 litre which is not accessorized, you're probably going to get about 10 to 11 k's per liter, ultimately depending on how you drive the vehicle. But this 13.9 k's per liter, almost 14 k's per liter driving around town. So you take this on a road trip, you're easily going to get 14, 15 k's per liter out of it, which is amazing. So long story short, 1.9 liter I am super impressed with. As I mentioned before, I haven't spent a lot of time driving the 1.9 liter auto. It's a fantastic gearbox. The gear changes are seamless, and yes, you can't compare the power output from this engine to the 3 liter. If you're the kind of person that tows a lot, if you're towing horse boxes or boats or camp trailers or anything, yes, the 3 liter is going to be the ideal option for you, simply because you're going to need that extra grunt, when you're overtaking, when you're going uphill, etc. So, but at the same time, there's no reason why this 1.9 liter couldn't do that as well. And just to give you a bit of an idea, we're just going to foot flat a bit, and look, this thing picks up immensely well. It is really, really, really amazing. So kudos to Isuzu for this new engine. The 1.9 liter is a really, really, really cool engine.